Welcome to Knockbro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I am Josh, and today we have amazing Season 10 Walking Dead news.
Yes, Season 10 is a ways away, but there's been some really cool news that's come out. Ryan Hurst was recently speaking at Walker StalkerCon in London, and he goes over some information that Season 10 will explore and unmask Whisperer secrets and explore a little more into Alpha and Beta's relationship. So for comic book readers and anyone who doesn't read the comics, we don't know from the comics a lot about Alpha and Beta's relationship.
No.
They don't really dive into it, how they met. We get a little of how they work together. It's Alpha's the Alpha, Beta's the Beta. He protects her and does what she says.
Please keep in mind, this is not a relationship like a ship.
It's not a ship
relationship. This is just
the Alpha, Beta.
common respect between the two and
dominance
relationship. And how they run things. So Ryan Hurst, obviously, like Jarrell said, when speaking at Walker StalkerCon in London, said, here's this giant guy who's following this 5'0" psychopath. But why is he following her?
Exactly. Why is he following her? That's a very big question. But I mean, if you go into, Alpha, Beta, Omegas, Alpha is the leader of the group, Alpha males. Betas are behind that, second in command, following the Alphas. Beta does, he's loyal to a fault. I wouldn't even say a fault, really. He's just loyal.
Loyal,
he
period.
Will,
and he's already shown that in Season 9.
Exactly. In Season 9, we see Beta, Alpha shows her weaknesses to Beta. Mm-hmm. She tells him about Lydia, the things that she's done wrong. She cries in front of him. Does Beta say, "Oh, I'm challenging you now"? Nope. He never will, and which is amazing for him.
Yeah.
So he goes in to say, I can't give too much away, but what I love about this show is it's very slow to reveal any of its answers. Very true.
Obviously, yeah.
Anytime you think you're going to be onto something, they're going to switch to another storyline and drag you into some more cliffhangers. In Season 10, Angela Kang and I have been rapping about exploring more of their relationship and getting some answers, and also starting to see if when there's sort of going to be a divergence between the two, that's about as much I can say.
And he closes it up by saying, if I told you more, Hurst added, I'd have to peel your face off.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But you got to wonder, are we going to get, we've already gotten a backstory, not too much, but a little bit of a backstory for Alpha. But are we going to
canon?
Yeah. Are we going to get a backstory of when these two meet?
Right.
Which would be really awesome and really cool. Like, obviously, they have to meet post-apocalypse.
Right. I think that's one thing a lot of fans would love to see. I think I've gone back and forth. Like, do I really want to see that? Or do I always want to be I always want that mystery out there? Because the Whisperers, they have that mystery. It's, human nature for us to want to know, how did Alpha become that way? We kind of got a glimpse that she was kind of already a psychopath. But how did she begin the Whisperers and say, okay, we're going to wear the dead masks. We're going to live how nature intended us to be now. I kind of want to see it, but I also want it to stay in mystery to me, I think.
And I also think it relates different from the comic book to the show. Like the show, and I think I've said this before, that they needed to show us kind of why Alpha was that way.
Yeah.
But in the comic book, we never got anything on Alpha, and it was different because if you were reading the book, we just got finished with a war and a villain by the name of Negan, who we did get a backstory on. Not too much, but we at least got a little bit of information. Actually, we didn't really even get that much. I'm thinking about it.
Not too much
I'm
of
thinking
Negan.
Post-war, we got more about Negan.
We did post-war.
So I'm all.
Even in the show, we got that a little bit because even Negan was talking to Father Gabriel and he mentioned about Lucille. Yep. So we got a little bit there, and they've sprinkled Negan in talking about Lucille from time to time. That'll be another topic, whether we get a cool backstory for Negan, but. The Whisperers, I'd be for it. Would it be a full episode? Nah,
I don't think you need to.
It could take one, just to throw some filler in there.
Definitely could. Definitely could. I mean, imagine seeing the emergence of Alpha post, being in Baltimore, which we've already gotten that scene.
Yeah.
And then her on the run with Lydia, with little Lydia, running into Beta.
How do you start that conversation?
And how do you create that group?
Exactly.
And what happened to create that group?
That's the biggest mystery.
Yeah.
I want to know it, but I also don't want to know it. But that's the biggest question.
Dude, that could take more than an episode.
They would, I think how they would have to do it is you'd have to get that single point. Okay, not necessarily how they met, but you can kind of maybe, okay, they're already together and they're not to the point yet to becoming the Whisperers, but you start to get the details, okay, of how Alpha talks to Beta and talks to the others to say, this is the world we live in now. Let's test this out and see how, testing it out, because they had to have tested it first.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer of, this group does not believe in communities. They're firmly against it simply because they know that communities will eventually fail. Well, what's that tell you? That doesn't tell you just Baltimore. That tells me that she probably was a part of a lot of other communities and witnessed them fall.
Going off of what Lydia said, she says, these walls around you don't last. I know. Me and my mom know. So exactly. I think maybe after their escape from Baltimore, they tried their way of being with communities, and it kept failing and failing and failing. And Alpha's like, you know what? Let's just begin.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if she's the one that caused every one of them to fail? Alpha.
I could see that.
Yeah,
because she's a
psychopath,
and she's an alpha leader, so she's gonna want to take over.
Yeah, and she is naturally a psychopath. I am a firm believer that the whole line in the show of her backstory where she says, "I can finally be who I want to be," that hit home for me as okay, she's always wanted to be this psychopathic, alpha type figure,
and this world has now given her that opportunity. So sick. There's we could go on forever.
Love it. Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see how the Whisperers story continues on in season 10. Did we have anything else from this?
So Hearst was kind of tight-lipped about this, of course. He's not going to give too much information, but somebody asked him, will we see Beta in season 10 remove his mask like we've seen with Alpha? And because in the comic books, we never see that from Beta. And spoiler alert, if you haven't read the comics, we do see his face, but that is at the moment where he is basically about to die at the end.
And a matter of fact, in the comics, he is really unwilling to actually take his mask off. So much so that
Jesus takes it off, I believe. Jesus or Aaron.
In the end, though.
Yeah, in the end.
But
yes.
There are multiple people, I believe, that try and get him to unmask himself.
Other Whisperers?
Yeah. And I think he kills one.
They die.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
So it's not so much so that, will we ever see it? But that question there, I think, by the person that was asking that was maybe more fishing. Are we going to see his death?
And he does actually respond. He does say, we've been discussing that about whether he does, if he does. And also, it's just one of those questions that people ask, why doesn't he take it off? And it's something that we explore in season 10. So he's saying we're going to explore it. How far we go with it, no idea. But it's exciting to think, okay, we're going to see him without his mask on. Now, I've already seen him without the mask on during shooting. There's some behind-the-scenes footage. So he does look cool. He's got the black around his eyes and his mouth, similar to Alpha. So, and of course with the long hair, dirtiness. It's just going to be sweet.
I mean, are we going to get a backstory to Beta too? So it's really cool. We cannot wait for season 10. I think that it's going to be really interesting. There's a lot of open-ended questions. Does Alpha know that they were there in their territory? Will they find the remnants of the snow walkers,
right.
and know that Michonne and crew were there.
Right.
There's a lot of other questions that we have, and that we cannot wait for season 10. Unfortunately, we're a long ways away.
So let us know your thoughts, and please give the video a quick like if you enjoyed what you saw. It truly helps us out and it helps support the series. Please follow us at Knockboard Nation on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to the channel. Join our community. We have a ton of videos on Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, comics, and we just hope you guys enjoy our content. We love doing this for you guys, and we truly appreciate everyone who is subscribed and all of our followers. We couldn't do this without you. We're having so much fun. So stay tuned for more Season 10 news. We have a lot of things to go over, and many more things that are going to be coming out in the news. So we'll give it to them as they come up. All right, guys, I'm Jarrell.
And I'm Josh.
And we're Knockboard Nation.
We're out.